Welcome. I'm Steve Nelson from Spirit of the Wilderness Outfitters in Ely, Minnesota. Question's been asked, how concerned should I be about bears in the boundary waters? Well, we want you to be safe. We want you to keep your distance. Actually, I hope you don't see one, As the way I put it, you're not at the top of the food chain. Bears are. So let's keep our distance. But there are some things that you can do. And here they are. First thing is when you come to a campsite, the first thing that all of us do is we look for, is the campsite big enough for us to put our tents up for the size of group that we're traveling with. The next thing that I recommend is that you take a walk around the campsite and you look to see, is there any bear scat? Now, what's bear scat? That's bear poop. If you see any there, then I recommend you pack up and just leave. You find a different campsite. Once you've decided it's a campsite you're going to stay at, then what I suggest is that you find a tree that you're going to hoist your food back up into for the night. Now that means we're going to hoist that food up at least 12 feet or more off the ground and at least 6 feet away from the trunk of the tree. It usually takes about 2 50-foot lengths of rope to do that. Now, and of course, make sure you do it in the daylight. It's a whole lot easier than doing it at night. I've done it the other way, and I find it's easier in the daylight. Another approach that you could take is you could use a bear barrel. Kind of like the one I've got over my shoulder here. It's a heavy-duty plastic barrel. It's got a plastic lid, and then there's a ring around the edge to latch it shut. Now, what you do is you put all your food in that, put any other stinky stuff or things that have odor, and put it in there. Not your dirty socks. Remember, we're talking about food. And what I want you to do is take that bear barrel and take it out into the woods, and usually about 30, 40 feet or more away from your campsite, and just set it down. Now remember where you put it. It's a little bit easier in the morning to find. And also, if you find that, don't put it next to a game trail. Now, if there's any doubt in your mind that it's next to a game trail, then move it to another site or another place. Okay, you're back at your campsite. Your food is secure. It's either up in a tree or in a bear barrel out in the woods. The last thing, a couple other things I want you to do is I want you to take a look around your campsite. Have you left any garbage around? Have you looked in your fire grate to see if there's any garbage there? I want you to pack that stuff up. Actually, we probably should have put that in our food pack or in the bear barrel before you hoisted it and before you set it out. And we ask you not to bring any food or anything of odor into your tent. Now, we're not talking your dirty socks. We're talking about candy bar wrappers. We're talking about lip balm, toothpaste, anything like that. Keep that outside of your tent. We don't want critters knocking on your door. All right? Now, lastly, what happens if a bear does come into your campsite? What do you do? Well, I recommend you start yelling, you start screaming, you start clapping your hands together, pots and pans, make lots of noise. Don't run. Pick up rocks, throw them at the bear. They're going to scoot away, okay? I think you'll be safe in the boundary waters. Just use some common sense and keep your campsite clean. So I invite you to the boundary waters this summer, invite you to Ely, and happy paddling.